Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today I'm going to compare Apple's iPhone 5 against Samsung's new Galaxy S4 smartphone. Now, I did make a previous iPhone 5 versus Galaxy S4 video. However, in this video, I'm going to go over some points that I didn't mention. So just think of this video as part 2 of my iPhone 5 versus S4 series, and if you didn't see the first video, make sure you watch that prior to watching this video. I'll have an annotation on the screen now. Just be sure to click that and watch that video, and then come back to this video, because in that video I definitely go over some key points that I won't really go over in this video. It's more focused on hardware and the performance of these two phones. In this video, I'm just going to go over some of my experiences, and I'm going to highlight some key points that I really like about each of these phones, and maybe it will help you guys decide which one better suits you. But first, before we begin, I just wanted to say that these are only two smartphones, no more than that. There's really no reason to get heated, guys. Now, these are definitely two of the very best smartphones on the market right now, and they're my two favorite smartphones on the market right now. Okay, and I also wanted to mention that the iPhone is jailbroken and the Galaxy S4 is rooted, which, as most of you know, is the Android equivalent of jailbreaking. So some people were asking about that in my first comparison video, and I just wanted to clarify. Now, also, before I begin, I wanted to go over a couple of other key points. So there are things about the iPhone that I like better than the Galaxy S4, and there are things about the Galaxy S4 that I like better than the iPhone. Overall though, if I could summarize, I'd say that I like the iPhone better because it's simple, effective, clean, and it's great for accomplishing tasks quickly. Now, if I were to say I like the S4 better, the primary reason is because it's fantastic for tinkering, modifying, and customizing. And I definitely noticed that when I was using the S4, I had a lot of fun customizing it and tweaking it to my liking. Now, like I said, in this video, I'm just going to give my honest opinions and experiences, and I just want to remind you guys that the iPhone 5 will be a year old in September, whereas the Galaxy S4 is a brand new smartphone. So it might be better to compare Apple's next generation iPhone against the S4, which I will definitely do once they release the new iPhone model, which again is predicted to be sometime this fall. So just be sure to stay tuned for that. I will push out another comparison video. And now I wanted to talk about the hardware and software of these two phones. Now, in my last video, I went over a couple of different benchmark tests, and I kind of wanted to do that in this video as well, using Geekbench too. And for those of you that don't know, Geekbench is a simple hardware benchmark tool that essentially takes into account the hardware of your device, and it gives you a theoretical number of how well it thinks your device will perform everyday tasks. So let me just run it really quick, and then I'll go over what exactly it means. Okay, now as you can see, the Galaxy S4 with its quad-core processor and 2 GB of RAM easily outscores the iPhone 5 with its dual-core processor and 1 GB of RAM. But just because the number is higher on the S4 doesn't necessarily translate into better performance. Just take, for instance, in my last comparison video, I did go over some browser tests, and the iPhone 5 actually pulled ahead in those. In fact, the iPhone 5 is simply put a perfect machine when it comes to efficiency. So things simply work on the iPhone 5. Sending emails and or text messages, checking Facebook, and sending a tweet are all tasks that can be accomplished on the iPhone noticeably faster than on the Galaxy S4. And that mostly boils down to the operating system, iOS versus Android. So in iOS, for instance, like I've been saying, things are much simpler. Additionally, while it may seem somewhat minor, the lack of a unified local search method on Android also hinders productivity if you have a number of apps installed and you want to access them quickly. Now, as far as customization is concerned, even though you could easily jailbreak your iPhone 5, provided it's on 6.1.2 or earlier, to achieve powerful customization options, Android is a completely different beast when it comes to freedom and customization. For example, a simple visit to the Google Play Store can result in a complete replacement of the stock messaging app, a customized keyboard, or even a complete graphic overhaul, allowing users to ditch the TouchWiz skin that Samsung customarily wraps stock Android in. And that's actually what I've done here. As you can see, I've used Nova Launcher in combination with a stock Android Jelly Bean theme to achieve a more clean and pure Android experience. Now let's go ahead and go over the camera. I did detail this in my other comparison video, but I just wanted to mention it again. So I'm going to load up the photos here on the S4 and on the iPhone 5. Now again, these images were taken side by side, and also note that the brightness on both of these phones is the same. So as I mentioned in my last video, the iPhone 5 cannot be compared to the Galaxy S4 when it comes to detail. it simply captures more detail than the iPhone 5 can. And that's because of its 13 megapixel camera. So you get incredibly crisp images on the Galaxy S4, but you do get more realistic colors on the iPhone 5. So let's go ahead and compare this. Some people might like how vivid the Galaxy S4 camera is, but again, the iPhone 5's camera does give a more realistic representation of colors. However, with that said, I do prefer the Galaxy S4 camera, again, simply because you can capture more detail. Now let me go ahead and go to this last image here. Just to give you guys an example, let me show you exactly how far I can zoom in. So this is absolutely incredible on the Galaxy S4. Again, you can't really do that on the iPhone 5. It doesn't let you zoom in that far, and even if it would, again, you wouldn't really be able to see that level of clarity and detail that you can on the S4. Obviously though, when I zoom in as far as I can, like right now, it starts to look a little bit fuzzy, but that doesn't really matter because I'm definitely zoomed in farther than I should be. All right, now I just wanted to go over apps and fragmentation. If you're looking for a phone purely for the app experience, the App Store is definitely the way to go, and that's because, again, developers only have to develop for a small number of devices, so they can make their applications run better, they can make them with more detail, and they can make the graphics better, whereas on Android, again, they have to accommodate a large number of devices most times. Now, I'm not really going to give you guys a side-by-side comparison. I did, however, test this with the Fast and the Furious 6 app on both of these, and again, they did look comparable. However, on the iPhone 5, it looked slightly better, but you couldn't really see it on camera. However, if you didn't have both devices to compare it to, again, it would look really great on the Galaxy S4. So while the S4 doesn't suffer from fragmentation in the sense that it doesn't get the latest version of Android, because it actually did get 4.2.2 when it shipped, which again, as of now, is the latest version of Android, it does suffer from app fragmentation, which is a downside. But like I said, there are still some really great apps on the Google Play Store. Now, one thing that I really like about the Galaxy S4 is NFC or near field communication, and that's just something that Apple hasn't included in the iPhone. Now, NFC is really great when you have something like these NFC tags, which I just showed you guys. Unfortunately though, Samsung has made it so that the S4 doesn't support these older NFC tags. As you can see, when I try to take it here and register it on the back of the phone, it just says this tag is not supported. So unfortunately, it doesn't work with some older NFC tags, but I did get this new NFC tag here. And when I tap it against it, I have set it to automatically change the brightness. Now you can do a ton of different things with this. As you can see, it just turned the brightness to full on the S4 here, and you can definitely tell that that's what it did. So let me go ahead and tap it again, and the second time I tap it against it, it will automatically set the brightness back to where I had it before. So there we go. I'm just going to set it to register through NFC Task Launcher, and as you can see, the brightness is back at medium on the S4. So that's one thing that I really like, and you can do way more than just use NFC tags and use them to modify your settings. Another quick example, I have a pair of Zeek headphones from Parrot, and they actually have NFC technology in them so that when you tap them against the headphones, the phone will automatically turn on Bluetooth and connect to the headphones wirelessly via Bluetooth. So that's just another great example of how NFC is incredible, and I really hope Apple does include NFC technology on the next generation iPhone. Now I want to briefly go over some of the other features Samsung has included in this version of TouchWiz on the S4. Now I will say what a lot of reviewers have said, they simply seem gimmicky. So the S4 does have things like Air View and Air Gestures where you can actually do things above the screen and it will recognize them. For instance, if I had it enabled right now, I could take an app and I could prepare to move it, and then I could simply swipe left or right and it would move it accordingly. However, it doesn't work right all of the time. Another one that it has is that you can answer the phone when you actually wave your hand above the phone, which I can't see it as being a practical application if your hands aren't clean. However, it doesn't work all the time again, and it's really hard to get it to pick up that call sometimes. But they are some really cool features to show off to your friends. Other than that though, they just seem gimmicky. Samsung has included some other awesome features such as Watch On, and in this Watch On application, they've included the method to control the TV via the IR technology they've included in the S4, which is absolutely great. Alright, and I also wanted to talk about build quality and expandable memory. So as most of you know, the Galaxy S4 is built out of polycarbonate plastic, which in my opinion just does not compare to the glass and aluminum of the iPhone 5. However, with that said though, I really like that the S4 does have expandable memory. So if I just take off this back plate here, as you can see, I do have a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. So that does significantly extend the memory, and that really does help. So let me go ahead and just put these devices back here, and let's go over the last point. So the thing that I love about Apple and the iPhone 5 is iCloud and their cross-platform ecosystem. So not only is it extremely convenient to type up something inside of my Notes app here and have it appear on any one of my computers, but it's also great to be able to message people on iPhones, iPads, and iPod Touches using iMessage and Messages. So I really do love iCloud and everything that's associated with it, including PhotoStream. Now, yes, while there are certain alternatives for Android that you can get that do offer some cloud features, again, they just cannot compare to iCloud, at least right now. So in summary, as I've been saying this entire video, these are two great smartphones. They're simply different, and different people will like them for different reasons. However, if you were to go out and get a new phone today, if you wanted to get an iPhone, I would suggest waiting until the next iPhone, because again, we are so close to Apple releasing their next generation iPhone, which should hopefully be this fall. Again though, if you're leaning more towards Android, I would definitely suggest the Galaxy S4. Alright, and I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget, if you want a chance to enter into my $100 Amazon gift card giveaway, just be sure to rate this video up and leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.